Hey guys, happy Friday. It's Mr. Joshua with another custom toy review. And this afternoon, I'd like to show off to you guys my custom collection of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Neca. Most of them are Neca. There's only two figures in this whole entire little collection here that are not Neca. But about most of them are Neca. So I started collecting these guys back in early April, right when I started my last job that I quit because it was a bullshit job. But my main idea was I have never seen anybody do a custom zombie Ninja Turtle before, and with me, I wanted to do it the right way. I didn't want to do it half-ass and get myself into the whole early '90s collection of the Ninja Turtles because for one, they weren't really that great at customizing because you can't. I don't know, just a long story short, I needed something that had more mobility, better joints and this and that. And so with a little bit of research, I found the Neca brand, and they came out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so with these guys right here, they're supposed to be the comic book versions. And so when I got the four turtles, originally all of them had the red bandana. I guess that's the way they all looked like in the comic books. They all had red bandanas, which is it's pretty cool, I guess. But later on down the road, they switched their colors up. So you had Donatello purple, Raphael red, Leonardo blue, and my favorite Michelangelo orange. But yeah, it took me a while to get all four figures. Actually, it took me about a month and a half. And the reason why is because the hardest figure for me to get was Leonardo. I have no idea why he was so hard to get. Every single Leonardo I found on eBay, people wanted an arm and a leg for it. They wanted between 20 and 40 bucks for it. When I got the other three turtles for 10 bucks with free shipping and handling, WTF to that. But luckily I found a Chinese seller that sold one to me for about $18. I didn't want to spend $18 on a figure, but I did it because I needed the whole entire collection of the Ninja Turtles at least, And so the very first one that I turned into a zombie was, my favorite, Michelangelo. And that was the very first time I ever made, anything into a zombie. And then from there on, I went to Donatello. And with Donatello, I remember in the comic books, Bebop and Rocksteady basically ambush him and just completely obliterate his shell with a big giant sledgehammer. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the figure. And so that's what I did. I wanted to look all gruesome and disgusting and just completely destroyed. And it's really cool because I made it a little, glossy on there. You can see, guts and shit. It's pretty cool. And since this dude Donatello, he's the smart one, I kind of wanted to show off a big giant gash in his head, you can see his brains coming out, old gray mattered up brain. It's pretty cool. And he probably has the least amount of damage on him too, just a little bit. And I busted a big giant piece off his shell. Nice and gory in there. It's pretty cool. And then with Raphael, since he's major fighter and everything, I just wanted to make him look all fucked up. I guess right here the final bullet would be big giant blast in the chest. And if you look in there, the detail of the chest is actually really, really detailed. And towards the middle of it, it's kind of black. It's pretty nice looking. This guy's some skin missing off his little beak there. You see a little bit of bone popping out. His cheek is just ripped in half. Fun stuff. He's got a big giant zombie bite right there. Maybe that was the bite that turned him into a zombie. Gash marks, blood all over the place. Some more cut marks on his back. Pretty cool. Another thing I did with all four of these figures is I had to repaint their skin too. So 80% of their bodies were a repaint. Get my favorite Michelangelo, first one that I did. And seeing here, you can actually see like the bone of the skull. So this is an eyeball, pretty cool. Kind of 3D-ish a little bit. And he's kind of missing part of his cheek there too. See kind of his, skull popping out. Nice little gash there on his neck. And bullet hole. A zombie bite. And then one of the cool features on him is that you actually see a little shin bone popping out. It's pretty cool. And you can see his little toe popping out. See if I can get you guys a better picture of that. It's about as good as we're going to get it, I guess. He's got a big giant crack in the hole in his shell. More gashes. And, the zombie bite right there in his foot. Maybe he was kind of fucking around with a horde of zombies or something. He wasn't taking it too seriously, and maybe he, kicked a zombie and got his foot caught in the horde, and, maybe a zombie, like, bit into his foot or something, But initially, since he was the first one I turned into a zombie, if I ever made a storyline, he'd be the first one that would, turn. And the last one, of course, would be Leonardo, who would turn. But yeah, check him out. He's actually one of the more cooler ones that I did. And the way I customized Leonardo, I wanted him to look more of a majestic kill, when he turned. And you can see right there, a big giant hole. Shot all the way through chest and out the back. And I'll show the reason for that here in a moment. And his face is all messed up. Some gash marks right there. Bite mark. He's had a bite mark right here on the neck as well, which is pretty cool. And the cool feature that I like about this figure is that the arm actually comes off. Now I had to customize this. What I did is I did a joint replacement on here, so that way you can, pop it right in, pop it right out. And the reason for that is because I wanted to, it's a little detailed in there too, but the reason why I did that is so I can actually get the sword to go in there. Let's see if I can get in there the right way. There's a certain way that the sword goes in, and I'm not finding it. There we go. I'm not going to push it all the way through. It's pretty weird because usually it'll just slide in and out with these, but it's been a while since I've done it. So originally it would actually go all the way through, and the hilt would stop right there at the chest, and the rest of the katana blade would just pop right out. But yeah, essentially it would look something like that. And then the storyline behind that would be he'd be fighting Shredder, and Leonardo would already be infected by the zombie virus. And so eventually, when they're fighting, the zombie virus basically takes over and weakens Leonardo, and weakens him to the point where Shredder actually comes and takes the katana sword during a fight, and stabs right there through the chest. Pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna leave that alone for now because I don't want to bust the katana sword. But yeah, let's go to the two other figures I was talking about earlier, the ones who are not, Neca, which are Bebop and Rocksteady. Originally, these guys were from the Ninja Turtles movie, the new one that just came out like a couple years ago by Nickelodeon. And the reason I bought these two is because as of right now, they don't have a Neca, Bebop, and Rocksteady. And unfortunately, these were the only ones that I could find that had the appropriate articulation and joints that I needed in the figure. But the thing was, I didn't realize how short they were going to be. I just automatically assumed they're going to be at least as big as the Neca Ninja Turtles. But if anything, they're a little bit shorter, which kind of sucks. But that didn't stop me from customizing them. And after I was done with them all, they just, you know, they came out awesome, you know. So I'm going to start off with Bebop. You know, since he's a pig, I wanted him to have some intestines, you know, come out. The intestines are actually really easy to make. I just took some little, like, you know, little beams of little plastic that you get from a model kit, and I would heat them up with a heat gun, and then I would take my wrench, reach in there, and kind of do, you know, little twisties and whatnot, and they'd harden up, and that would reheat the plastic again, just do it all over the place until, you know, they look like guts. And then I would just paint them, dirty wash it, and there we go. So yeah, Bebop, he has his guts, you know, spilling out. Pretty cool. Has some gashes. And my favorite part about Bebop is his head right here. You know, he's missing the ear, and you actually see his skull just popping out, which is really cool. And I'm not understanding why my piece of shit phone isn't focusing. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Out of Bebop and Rocksteady, Bebop was actually the one I did the most customization to, because originally when I got him, he looked nothing like this. You know, he had a brown vest instead of a red vest. His shoes were originally boots, and I had to repaint everything on him. Actually, yeah, no, I repainted everything on him, even the pants too. I forget what color the pants were, but I repainted those a matte black just because, you know. And so what I did with the boots, I purposely made them look like the, you know, shoes from the 80s, you know. So now they look like, you know, sneakers. Pretty cool stuff. And then I redid the studs on them too. I just went around with a silver paint pen and kind of touched those up. But that's it for Bebop, and now Rocksteady. Rocksteady was actually a little bit easier to do. And so what I did with Rocksteady was I wanted to know what a rotted rhino would look like. So I went on to Google and looked up, you know, African rhinos that have been, you know, dyed and rotted. And that's what I took what I saw and incorporated into the figure. You know, so you have like a missing eyeball, and you see like peeled back skin and bone, which is pretty cool. Big giant gash in the back of his head. On his shoulder right here, he's missing a big giant piece of skin. It's all textured and stuff. It's got a big giant gash right here. And one of the cool features about this dude is that the hand comes off. I textured that in there too. It's pretty neat. And one of the cool things I did with his name's not fucking Bebop, it's Rocksteady, motherfucker. One of the cool things I did with Rocksteady, I've been calling him Bebop for the past minute and a half now. It's pretty embarrassing, but fuck it, it's Friday. Anyways, with Rocksteady, one of the cool things that I did was I repainted his vest. I put Killing the Dead, which is pretty cool. I like it. Nice little figure that I have. And anyways, we have last but not least, you have Master Shredder as a zombie. And he also has, you know, his little katana sword and stuff too, and hands I haven't had a chance to mess around with. But yeah, doing Master Shredder was, you know, fairly easy. Originally, you know, this is the Neca figure, but originally he came from the 1980s NES game where he was, you know, purple and black and stuff, and it's kind of cool because when I got him, he had this like weird 1980s like game pattern on all over his body. Everything's all like squarey and whatnot, pretty retro looking. But I didn't like that, so what I did was I did a whole entire repaint on the figure. I repainted his legs because he had that weird square pattern on there. And I recolored his whole entire chest and clothes. Originally that was purple, but I, painted it gray. I repainted his coat this kind of a dull gray color and weathered it. And after that, I put a little bit of blood splotches all over the place. Nice little gash right here. It's got a bite mark right in here, if you can see that. And his face, the face shield, has some gashes in there. It looks like he's been a big giant filthy fight. One of the things I don't like about the Shredder figure is that his arms can move back and forth like that, but his arms can't swing from side to side, like up and down, like what this figure can do. It's kind of shitty because this is a Neca figure. Usually Neca figures are like really posable, and he can't even swivel out. His legs can, but his arms can't. Heck, even his little shins can swivel back and forth. And he's even got toe joints too, which is really nice. It's one of the things I love about figures when they have the little toe joints. Pretty cool. But yeah, if anybody's interested, this whole entire set is on eBay right now for $100. And the reason why it's $100 is because I'm just trying to bring in buyers and see what people will buy and what people won't buy. Realistically, I can probably sell the whole entire set for $100 right now if I find the right buyer. And for a collection like this, it's pretty awesome to have. I've had buddies come over. I've had my fiance's, friends come over, and they all, saw this Ninja Turtle collection. They're like, dude, where'd you get this Ninja Turtle collection? And I'm like, motherfuckers, I made all this, And the main reason why I built this collection is because I wanted to see if I can turn them all into zombies. And I just wanted to take my artwork and, sell it to somebody, like I've been doing for the past couple of years. I have hundreds of figures right now that are, scattered all the way around the world. Mainly they're Gundams, these little dudes, Gundam MSAs. But yeah, a vast majority of my figures are, Gundams, and those are the ones that are spreaded around. I've got a couple of Transformers too, and a lot of Beast Wars. And I just want to see, where these figures go. I really hope they go to a good home. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have to say about this collection of really awesome zombified Ninja Turtle set. And again, if you guys are interested, shoot me a message on YouTube or get a hold of me on Facebook. Anyways, that's all I have to say about this collection. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more custom toy reviews.